How's it going, everybody? Pozermobil here, bringing another absolute banger of a platinum. Today we've got another one from Sen called Pixicharm Dinoluship, and you're looking at only $1 on the PlayStation Store with only 2 stacks, one worldwide stack each for PS4 and PS5. This is a little arcadey auto runner. You're a dinosaur, you're running down a track, you'll have leaves and chunks of meat to pick up, spikes to jump over with X, and these weird coat hanger looking things will fly at you from the right side of the screen, which you can shoot down by hitting square to shoot a fireball, all of which is entirely historically accurate. Trophy-wise, you've got 13 total, 1 silver, 11 gold, and the platinum, and you've only got 2 goals here to collect 70 total items and shoot down 25 total enemies, both of which become super easy to do if you hit square at the main menu to turn on the infinite health option. It's in the top left, and if it's lit up green, it's turned on. You'll get your enemies defeated trophies finished way before you get your items collected trophies, so focus more on grabbing as many items as you can over getting kills. This took me about 3 minutes or so to finish, and I'd expect it to take about that long as well. A ton of people on the leaderboard are around the 2-minute mark, so if you focus more on collecting rather than killing, you'll be able to shave a bit of time off of my 3-minute mark. Regardless, anything under 5 minutes is a pretty good time for this platinum. How's it going, everybody? Pozermobil here, bringing another absolute banger of a platinum. Today we've got another one from Games called The Jumping Stars, and you're looking at $2.50 on the PlayStation Store, and I'm not sure about stacks at the time of recording this, but I'm sure it'll have all 8 major region stacks eventually. This is a little arcadey game where you're trying to jump your star up using X through colored shapes, making sure that you're jumping through the colored part of the shape that's the same color as your star, and collecting the numbered diamonds along the way. If you remember my video in one of their previous releases, The Jumping Bird, this is basically the exact same game, but you're a star instead of a bird. Trophy-wise, you've got 71 total, 70 bronze and the platinum, and you've only got 1 goal here to change the difficulty to very easy, start the game, and keep spamming the X button until you've got yourself the platinum. With the very easy option turned on, you'll be able to skip the whole colored shape part of the gameplay, as well as the annoyingly incorrectly numbered diamonds in the base game, so it's as easy as it gets. This is only going to take you about a minute or so of jumping to finish, though I guess you could shave a few seconds off if you're spamming your X button faster than I was. Either way, expect to be somewhere around that 1-minute mark by the time you get the last diamond. How's it going, everybody? Pozermobil here, bringing you another absolute banger of a platinum. Today we've got another one from Games called Collie Call, and you're looking at $5 cross-buy on the PlayStation Store with all 8 major region stacks. This is a little Sokoban where you're a border collie trying to herd your sheep into the little pasture squares. Your basic Sokoban rules apply here, so no diagonal movement, and you're going to have to deal with mud that forces your sheep to continue moving until it collides with something else, as well as logs that'll redirect your sheep to wherever the log is pointing. As far as your extra controls go, it's just circle to undo a move and triangle to reset the level, both of which you'll have to use for their respective trophies. Trophy-wise, you've got 22 total, 5 bronze, 9 silver, 7 gold, and the platinum, and you've essentially only got 1 goal here to finish the first 21 levels with a few extra little trophies to get along the way. You're going to have to use restart and undo 5 times each, and you're going to have to finish 3 levels without using undo after completing level 2, though if you're following along with the guide, that's not going to be an issue. Going in completely blind, this took me about 25 minutes or so to finish, but with a guide, I can totally see you cutting that down to around 10 minutes or so without much of an issue. Of the 21 levels I had to go through, only a few gave me any trouble, so I definitely wouldn't say it's on the difficult side for a Sokoban. No running commentary for this one, but I'm going to leave timestamps down below for each of the levels, so all you have to do is follow along. Get those extra trophies that I mentioned out of the way while you work your way through, and you'll get it done in no time. How's it going, everybody? Pozermobil here, bringing another absolute banger of a platinum. Today we've got another one from Games called The Jumping Tomato Rush, and you're looking at $2.50 cross-buy on the PlayStation Store with all 8 major region stacks. This does have auto pop, so once you finish the platinum on PS4, you can head into the PS5 version and get yourself a second platinum immediately. This is a little arcadey game where you're bouncing back and forth between 2 walls by pressing X, avoiding the spikes that pop up on either side, and picking up as many stars for extra points as you can. The further you get, the more points you earn, and that's basically the entire game. That's the idea anyway, but this game has the very easy difficulty option you can set it to in the options menu, so you can ignore all that silly gameplay nonsense for this one. Trophy-wise, you've got 71 total, 70 bronze and the platinum, and you've essentially only got one goal here: to change the difficulty to very easy in the options menu, start the game, and wait for PlayStation's trophy system to catch up to all 71 of the trophies popping for you in a few seconds. You're going to be getting 10,000 points for every second you're alive, so it's entirely possible you'll be able to get enough points for the platinum without ever actually pressing a button in-game if there aren't any spikes right where you start. Like I said, this is only going to take you a few seconds to actually get enough score to unlock all the trophies. You only need 7,000 for the last trophy, you get 10,000 after surviving for a second, but PSN Profiles has the other early access players and I sitting at around a minute for the full platinum unlock time on PS4. Whether you want to call it 3 seconds to unlock everything or a minute for all the trophies to catch up with PlayStation, it's about as easy as it gets from T Games for this one. How's it going, everybody? Pozermobil here, bringing another absolute banger of a platinum. Today we've got another one from Aphil Games called Legends Aligned, Minions in Conflict, and you're looking at $5 cross-buy on the PlayStation Store with all 8 major region stacks. This is another entry in their Legends Aligned series of grid-based puzzle games. You've got a set of D&D type miniatures that you need to use to fill out a grid without leaving any spaces. The catch for this new one is that you've got minis on the left, right, and bottom of the grid, and the left and right minis can't mix. Monsters are on the left, NPCs are on the right, and if they touch, they'll fight and knock each other back off the board. You get around this by putting the animal minis, the ones on the bottom of the screen, in between them, so there's a little more strategy involved than the previous releases. Trophy-wise, you've got 20 total, 2 bronze, 9 silver, 8 gold, and the platinum, and you've essentially only got one goal here: to beat the first 25 levels of the game, with a few extra trophies thrown in there for good measure. You're going to have to beat 10 levels without using hints or restart, both of which you can do by completing the first level, holding circle to go back, and repeating the first level until the trophies pop. Aside from that, you're just going to have a mini from the left and right side next to each other so they'll fight, and if you follow along with the guide, you should get the rest of the trophies along the way, aside from using a hint at some point, which you can do whenever. This took me about 20 minutes or so on my own by using the hint system, but I figure if you just follow along with my guide, you should be able to cut your time down to somewhere around 10 minutes or so without much of an issue. No running commentary for this one, but I'm going to leave timestamps down below for each of the levels, so all you have to do is follow along. Get those extra trophies that I mentioned out of the way while you work your way through, and you'll get it done in no time. How's it going, everybody? Pozermobil here, bringing another absolute banger of a platinum. Today we've got another one from Zinalon called Pincer Attack, and you're looking at only $1 on the PlayStation Store with all 4 major region stacks for PS4, no PS5 version for this one yet. This is a little arcadey game where you're trying to take out all the little blue alien looking things before they shoot or run into you. The controls are kind of a lot to get a handle on for your first few runs, but I found after 3 short-lived failed attempts, I had my fingers trained enough to survive for a bit. You move with left or right on the D-pad, jump with up on the D-pad, crouch with down on the D-pad, and fire with all 4 of the shape buttons. Be aware that this is a very fast-paced game, and you're going to have to be moving basically the entire time to stay alive. Trophy-wise, you've got 12 total, 11 gold and the platinum, and you've essentially got 2 goals here: to survive for 30 seconds, as well as getting to 200 points in a single run, both of which you'll probably get together in a single run. Aside from that, you're going to have to die to one of the single stack aliens by running into it, die 10 times, and get to a 5 times multiplier, though you're probably going to get that last one while going for the score and survival trophies. My biggest tip going into this is probably going to just be to never stop moving. Attack anything that shows up on either side of the screen the moment it pops in, that way it won't get a chance to shoot at you. It's easier said than done, obviously, but for reference, I had the score and survival time trophies finished well before the dying trophies, so I don't think it's one of the more difficult Zinalon games. Speaking of, this took me just over 2 minutes to finish. That does include a little bit of time at the start, just trying to get a handle on what the controls even were, considering I was dying too fast to read them all, but once you got a handle on that, it shouldn't take you very long to get this one finished. The fastest anybody's done it at the time of recording this is 1 minute 4 seconds, but I think anywhere around that 2 to 3 minute mark is a pretty good time for this platinum, maybe upwards of 5.